today was your JMI LLB entrance, and here we are to discuss all the sections one by one. This is the legal exam analysis. Okay, so how did you all perform? How was it? I saw the question paper. Legal was pretty easy. I mean, if you given the static part, even the static part wasn't as difficult, provided you prepared properly. So yes, how are you? We'll start. We shall start in a moment. Let everybody join. Yep, so good afternoon, good afternoon. Good afternoon, guys. So let us begin. Now, overall, the level of difficulty was moderate. In fact, if you'd ask me, if it was just GK, because I really did not read the other sections, which are not my department, it was actually very easy, right? It was easy, especially the legal. I mean, I would label the static to be a little tricky or moderate if students, completely missed out on political science. But if you were preparing in a wholesome manner, which is actually the idea of any competitive exam, especially competitive exams like BHU, JAMIA, जिसमें इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस आते ही हैं, हर साल आते हैं, तो आपको पता होना चाहिए कि पॉलिटिकल साइंस आपके एग्जाम का एक बहुत ही इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. उसको आपको पढ़ना ही है, आप उसको रिमूव नहीं कर सकते अपने प्रिपरेशन से. तो लीगल काफ़ी इजी था. मतलब मैं लीगल को इजी कैटेगरी में डालूंगी, लेकिन वो सबके लिए इजी नहीं हो सकता क्योंकि सब इतनी होलसम प्रिपरेशन के साथ नहीं जाते हैं. ठीक है. जीके सेक्शन काफ़ी लेंथी था. इनफैक्ट देयर वर सम क्वेश्चंस दैट वर इनकलकेटेड इन द लीगल पार्ट आल्सो. जीके वाज एक्सट्रीमली लेंथी, बट द क्वेश्चंस अगेन वर नॉट दैट extremely difficult. There was not even a single reading comprehension, which made this paper even more easy, right? Now, this is the exam structure. Legal aptitude was 35. There were not 35 questions per se, less than 35, क्योंकि पूरे section में there were some questions which were of GK also. So, वो टीम ने पूरा ही calculate कर दिया. ये 35 questions नहीं थे, कम थे, right? But legal was definitely very easy. Acha, the thing is that JAMIA is not really an exam where they choose to segregate the sections, like on top of every question or on top of every section there is going to be a headline. Now the English section begins, be ready. So it's not like that. That's a haphazard thing that they usually resort to. They just get a handful of questions and they print them and they give them to their students. That's all. They don't make an effort to segregate. That's not a good thing to do. But what can you say? It's still a national level college, one of the best in this country. No sectional timing. Every question has 1 mark. 0.25 marks are deducted if you make or attempt a question which is wrong. If you leave out the question, you are not given any mark, right? Obviously. It is not moderate. It is easy. I mean, moderate, we have placed moderate because every child is unique. And their preparation is also unique. Not everybody prepares in that manner, right? Like I said. So not everybody prepares in a wholesome manner. So if you read the question which is related to Rajya Sabha and Basel Accord and like, oh wait, ये कहाँ से आ गया यार, ये तो मैंने पढ़ा ही नहीं. तो इसलिए उन बच्चों के लिए मॉडरेट भी लिखा गया है. लेकिन पेपर इजी था, काफ़ी इजी था. अगर आपने ठीक से पढ़ाई करी है तो आप कर रहे हो क्वालिफाई 100%. ओके. So these are the good attempts. I think 25 to 28 या फिर easily 30 attempt किए जा सकते. There was not even a single question which was not attemptable. There was no single question which was extremely out of the blue or out of the level or out of your syllabus. Everything was pretty easy. There was no complication or nothing extremely tricky about the paper. Like CLAT was made, So you can expect that A-Lit is going to be difficult. कल A-Lit का exam है वो difficult होगा पक्का. मुझे पूरा विश्वास है. Okay, so this is the segregation. Do you want to do the questions or are you done? How many seats for the general category? Luang, that is something that you need to find out on your own. Okay. So let us do the questions. Let's see how many you did correctly. Now, if an MP is convicted, now this was actually taken from a Hindu editorial which was published in November 2021. I remember it because I read it. Did you read it? That is why I always say 1 year current affairs you should always keep in compendium. This seemed like a static information, but there was an article given on it because it is based on a Supreme Court judgment. Right? So not everybody is familiar with it because not everybody pays attention to Hindu analysis classes. That is something that you should do. ठीक है, नोट करके रख लो, हिंदू एनालिसिस की क्लासेस अटेंड करनी है क्योंकि उसमें से क्वेश्चन आ ही जाता है 100%, हर दिन होता है वो एनालिसिस. ओके, if an MP MLA is convicted for a crime, sent to jail for 2 years or more, he'll be disqualified from contesting elections for 6 years from the time of release. Even if a person is on bail after the conviction, he is disqualified from contesting if his appeal is pending. Which of the following statements are correct? Now the Hindu article said that he is disqualified with immediate effect. Okay, he is disqualified with immediate effect और उसका बाद का proposition clear नहीं है कि वो बाद में election में खड़ा हो सकता है etc. So this is not true, but this is right. Okay, even if the appeal is pending, the 3-month time during which a person is allowed to appeal, that benefit is also not given to the person. The person remains disqualified. So B is the correct answer. Only 2. Okay, this is true. This is not true. So B should be the option. Moving on, question 27. Now these were the options. Freedom of press is not really given explicitly in under Article 19, but it is implicitly made a part of freedom of speech and expression. Okay, freedom of press is an implied part of freedom of speech and expression. So whatever restrictions apply on this freedom applies on the freedom of press also. So what are the restrictions? Sovereignty, contempt, defamation, incitement. अब इनमें से कौन सा है जो freedom of press पे लगता है? The question is this. इसका आंसर है सारे लगते हैं भाई. All of these are restrictions put down or given under Article 19. ठीक है? So D is the correct option in this. How many of you got it right? सिर्फ 3 करंट अफेयर्स के क्वेश्चंस आए. हाँ, करंट अफेयर्स कम आया. ओके, अब आता है प्रिंसिपल फैक्ट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. टू आंसर अ क्वेश्चन द गिवन प्रिंसिपल इज टू बी अप्लाइड. ऑब्वियसली यू नो दैट इंटेंशनल एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स टू अनदर पर्सन इज एक्शनेबल इन लॉ, राइट? P and D are unknown to each other. When P is about to sit on a chair, D intentionally puts it away, as a result of which P falls down on the floor, is injured. Is D liable? What do you think? What is your answer? इसको एलिमिनेशन से करो. क्या डी लाइबल है? एक आदमी कुर्सी पर बैठने वाला है, दूसरे आदमी ने उसकी चेयर को पुल कर दिया, द मैन फॉल्स डाउन. प्रिंसिपल क्लियर कह रहा है इंटेंशनल एप्लीकेशन ऑफ फोर्स. यहाँ पे इंटेंशनल वर्ड ही यूज किया गया. इंटेंशनली ही हैज पुल्ड द चेयर, ही हैज इंटेंशनली अप्लाइड फोर्स. सारे ही ऑप्शन में नॉट लाइबल है सिवाय इसके, तो ये सही ऑप्शन है. बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. ही इज लाइबल बिकॉज ही इंटेंशनली कॉज इंजरी टू पी. ओके, consent is a good defense in a civil action for tort, but it should be the same for which consent was given. B was formally invited by A to his house. B, after sitting for some time in drawing room, moved to the bedroom of the house. A sued for trespass. अब यहाँ पे trespass है या नहीं? What do you think? It's very easy. Consent is given or consent is implied only when it is, it is attached with whatever activity is being extended to the host or by the host, sorry. So if a person is invited as a guest, the host obviously does not expect him to go to the bedroom on his own until and unless he is explicitly invited, right? So D is the correct option. B has committed trespass because there was no consent of A for entry in his bedroom. D is correct. Again, extremely easy. Communication of a proposal is complete when it comes to the knowledge of a person to whom it is made. A sent a letter making a proposal to B to purchase the house of B. When will the communication be complete? Anybody? Very easy. It is The principle clearly says when it comes to the knowledge of the person to whom the communication is made. Now, how will it come to his knowledge? When he reads it, right? So A is correct. These are all incorrect. Okay, how does B's wife come into picture? That is why. So easy. Oh my God. If only my question paper was easy when I was taking exams. Okay, a person is said to have committed assault when an apprehension is caused in the mind of a person that he is about to use a physical force against his body. So, an apprehension and a mere fear are two different things. Apprehension has to be evident, prima facie, like you know it is going to happen. It is right there. For example, if you are surrounded by a bunch of goons who are armed, that is a valid apprehension that you are going to get severely hurt. So, if you act in that situation, your action is justiciable. But if you know somebody just threatens you on phone, it is just a scare. They might act on it, they might not act on it. So if they do not act on it, it is only a threat. It does not become a reasonable apprehension of threat or hurt. Okay. Now A abuses B while he was sitting in a moving train by aggressively shaking his fists when B was standing on a railway platform at a distance. Now is it a reasonable apprehension that there is going to be an injury or something? It is not assault. There is no apprehension. It is not assault. C is the correct option. Okay. 79. Nothing is an offense which is done by a child under 12. So this is a concept of doli capex, something that we have discussed in great details during the sections. Okay, this is a concept of doli capex, and the maturity and the understanding of a child is construed from the facts and circumstances. If the facts and circumstances show that the child does not possess a required maturity to commit or to form a criminal intention, he is not punished. He can avail the defense. But in this, X, even though he is a 11-year-old child, he picks up a gold ring which is worth rupees 5,000 and immediately sells it for 2,000. So he was well aware of what he was doing. It's a chori ka anguti which he was selling. So he will not be protected. Okay. He will definitely not be protected. His acts show that he was sufficiently mature to understand the nature and consequences of his conduct. D is correct. Okay. Question number 80. Defamation is a publication of a statement which tends to lower the reputation of a person in the estimation of other members of the society, generally. A writes a highly offensive and derogatory letter about B and sends it directly to B in a sealed cover. Is it defamation? Is it defamation? What do you think? It's not. It's not defamation. There is no publication. The general public is not even involved. Whatever he is saying to the person whom he wants to say it to. There is no third person. So this is not defamation. B is correct. Question 81. In the case where there is an infringement of a legal right, even without any actual loss or damage, the person whose right is infringed has a right to cause an action. Now this is a principle of injuria sine damnum. Injury without damage. Okay, something that you understand when you are trying to determine damnum, a liability in tort. So this is a principle of injuria sine damnum, and the case law was Ashby versus White. Sorry, I might have spelled it wrong. It's Ashby versus White. Everybody remembers the case? I think the facts are also based on the case only. Wrongfully prevented by returning officer from exercising his vote in an assembly election. The candidate, it is exactly Ashby versus White. They did not even change. The candidate for whom he wanted to give his vote won the election. Still P brought an action claiming damages. Will he succeed? Of course he would succeed. B is correct. He would succeed as he was wrongfully prevented from exercising his legal right of voting. Okay. हाँ तनिषा पेपर देना चाहिए था, इतना इजी एग्जाम है, सिलेक्शन हो जाता वो भी जामिया में, बताइए कितनी बढ़िया बात होती. Okay, so law never enforces an impossible promise. Impossibility is an impediment for an agreement to become a contract. If the object or whatever is promised in the contract is impossible, the agreement does not become a contract. Sorry. So A made a promise to B to discover treasure by magic. Will this promise be enforced? It's very simple. It won't. It is that easy. Will. Cross. Will not. Very simple, because it's right there. Never enforces. Will not enforce the promise. There is no legal liability even if B refuses later on. Agreement without free consent can be enforced only at the option of a party whose consent was not free. So A obtains the consent of B to enter into an agreement by putting a gun on the head of B's girlfriend. So who can enforce the agreement? Who can enforce the agreement? B can enforce the agreement, because it is B's consent who was not free. Okay. Yeah, it was B's consent which was not free, so only B has the power to enforce the agreement. If he wants, he can declare the agreement void also. It is voidable at the option of B. So it is his decision whether to enforce with it, whether to go ahead with it or to stop it there. So A is the correct answer. 84. Law does not penalize for wrongs which are of trivial nature, trifles. In the course of discussion, A threw a pile of papers at the table which touched the hands of B. Yes. Is liable. Is he liable? What do you think? It's very clear. Could it be more any easy? Could it be any more easy? क्या इससे सरल पेपर बन सकता था? नहीं बन सकता था. अगर इसमें भी तुम्हारे अच्छे मार्क्स नहीं आए तो क्या ही तैयारी किया है तुमने? इतना इजी हद हो गई. ठीक है. With reference to the Speaker of Lok Sabha, consider the following statements. Once a member is elected as Speaker, he loses the voting right in Lok Sabha, which is correct. With the delusion of a Lok Sabha, the term of the Speaker comes to an end. This is also correct. Speaker certifies a bill as a money bill and the Speaker's decision is final. This is also correct. So 1, 2, 3, all three are correct. This might be a question which people could find a little confusing. Yeah. So moving on. Third schedule of Indian Constitution is related to whoever attends my classes and whoever asks, मैम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में क्या पढ़ें, तो मेरे मुंह से हमेशा निकलता है कि शेड्यूल्स को याद कर लेना. ठीक है. लर्न द शेड्यूल्स and also learn the amendments. This is the reason why I tell you to. Might not be asked in CLAT, but these, traditional exams, more conventional in nature, they actually focus on these things. B. This is the correct answer. Forms of oaths and affirmations. Okay, third schedule talks about it. 87. Which of the following contains the regulations for the management of the company? This is not exactly legal, but this is articles of association. C is the correct option. What did you mark? Bruh, the legal was not just easy, bro. The legal was way too easy, bro. I mean, I don't even want to stand and just solve the following questions. It's like, what am I doing? I want to face a challenge. Okay, so the term, it is not 10, it is term. Ind arc is made of what? Indigenously developed radar system? No. India's satellite to provide services to the country of Indian Ocean Rim? No. Scientific establishment set up by India in Antarctic? Definitely no. Arc means Arctic. Anywhere? Oh, yes. So, India's underwater observatory to scientifically study the Arctic region. This is the answer. Okay. These are not the questions for ALET. These are the questions that you were given in JAMIA. जामिया के क्वेश्चंस हैं ये, एक्चुअल क्वेश्चन पेपर के क्वेश्चंस हैं ये, एलेट के नहीं है. इफ ओनली एलेट इज दैट इजी. When the speaker asks a member of a house to stop speaking and let another member speak, this phenomenon is called yielding the floor. Okay, yielding the floor. This is a core political science question, something that most of you might have missed, but that is called, the phenomenon is called yielding the floor. Question number 90, not an essential in the formation of a contract. Offer, acceptance, consideration. This is not an essential. Offer is definitely important. Acceptance is extremely important. These two together form a promise. Every promise is an agreement. Okay, and consideration, object, etc. are again compulsory factors. So yes, all these three are important. Damages is not an essential element of agreement. 91. Which of the constitutional provisions grants protection to persons who are arrested or detained? Anybody? Can somebody answer this question? Okay. यार ये तो क्वेश्चन लीगल का नहीं है. Which of the following inscriptions mentioned in trade contacts between Mesopotamia and India? This is not my question. I'm not reading this. Framer of Indian Penal Code, Macaulay. Okay, let's not waste time over this. This is too easy. Term green steel. What? This is not legal. I don't know this. In law, a man is presumed to be dead if he is not heard. It's not heard of as alive for 7 years. Section 108, Indian Evidence Act. Okay, 7 years. Presumption of death. So the duration is 7 years. They really, they love this duration, 7 years. It's too much. Dowry death 7 years. Presumption of death 7 years. Much. The element. What? क्लोरोफिल ग्रीन कलर क्या होता है भाई? मुझे तो इसका आंसर नहीं पता. तुमको पता हो तो आंसर कर देना, लेकिन आई एम श्योर कि ये लीगल का क्वेश्चन नहीं है. ठीक है. हाउ मेनी ड्यूटीज आर प्रोवाइडेड अंडर पार्ट NA? व्हाट? आई थिंक इट्स 4A. तो ड्यूटीज तो 4A में दे रखी है. द करेक्ट आंसर इज 11. द फाइनल ड्यूटी विच वॉज K वॉज एडेड बाय 86th अमेंडमेंट. Okay, education wala. Everybody should be familiar with it. It's 11. There are 11 duties, 8 till K. 98. Basel III Accords or Basel III seeks to, oh my god, this is again not my question, but I'll solve it nevertheless. Develop national strategies, conservation, sustainable, no. Improve banking sector's ability to deal with financial, yes, B. ठीक है. बाजल 3 को देखकर तो लगता है बाजल स्विट्जरलैंड में है. हाँ, ये तो पॉल साइंस. कौन सा पॉल साइंस है ये पॉल साइंस थोड़ी है. ठीक है, तो ये बाजल को देखकर लगता है कि कुछ एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड होगा, बट है नहीं. बैंकिंग सेक्टर से रिलेटेड है. सो इट इज एक्चुअली बाजल 3 अकॉर्ड सीक्स टू इम्प्रूव बैंकिंग सेक्टर्स एबिलिटी सो एज टू रिड्यूस रिस्क मैनेजमेंट और टू इम्प्रूव रिस्क मैनेजमेंट. Global Climate Change Alliance was established by European Union. Not my question. In which of the following groups are all 4 countries members of G20? Argentina, Mexico, South Africa, Turkey. ये चारों कंट्री हैं. और भी है कोई? ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कनाडा, मलेशिया? नो. Argentina, Mexico, South Africa and Turkey. It's right here, A. Okay. और भी कंट्रीज हैं, लेकिन ये चारों भी हैं. सऊदी अरेबिया भी है. प्रधानमंत्री मुद्रा योजना इज एम्ड एट व्हाट? आई थिंक इट इज A. एक बार अभिमन्यु सर से प्लीज कंफर्म कर लेना. ठीक है, इट शुड बी A. आई माइट बी रॉन्ग, इज नॉट माई लीग. Wife on legal separation from her husband may be entitled to debt, alimony, compensation, damages. Alimony, okay, maintenance भी कहते हैं इसको, and this is given under section 125 of CRPC, which is a general procedure. Which of the following years delimitation commission was not set up? Okay, so delimitation commission was set up in the following years. अब इनमें से देख लो कौन सा ईयर नहीं है. इनमें नहीं हुआ है. B is correct. ओके, 4 बार सेटअप हुआ है. 52 में, 63 में, 73 में, 2002 में. मैं गलत सेक्शन पे नहीं आई हूँ, मिक्स है ये, सेग्रीगेटेड ही नहीं है. अब ये क्वेश्चंस हैं तो कर देती हूँ सॉल्व फिर. ठीक है, तो B इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. बेजिंग डिक्लेरेशन नॉट माय क्वेश्चन. इलेक्टोरल डिस्प्यूट्स अराइजिंग आउट ऑफ प्रेसिडेंशियल वाइस प्रेसिडेंशियल आर सेटल्ड बाय. क्या आंसर किया तुमने इसका? आई रियली वांट टू नो व्हाट डिड यू आंसर इन दिस. I know most of you got it wrong. What did you answer in this? What do you think the answer of this question is? Jaldi. I need activeness, guys. Faraz has answered and Faraz is correct. How about people on YouTube? Faraz is on the app. How about you guys? नहीं आता तुमको ये? अपने आपस में बात करते रहेंगे, आंसर नहीं करेंगे. Joint Committee of what? Why? It's C. Supreme Court of India. ठीक है, remember 39th Amendment? पढ़ लेना उसको. ठीक है, read that. उसके बाद पढ़ना 44th Amendment. Okay, discuss किया है हमने. It's Supreme Court of India. It's not Election Commission of India. It's Supreme Court of India. इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया डायरेक्ट इलेक्शंस को, वैसे तो वो इनडायरेक्ट को भी मॉनिटर करता है, प्रेसिडेंशियल इलेक्शन को भी मॉनिटर इलेक्शन कमीशन ही करता है, लेकिन कोई डिस्प्यूट अगर है तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया में ही रिजॉल्व किया जाता है. ओके, बस इतने ही क्वेश्चंस थे एंड दीज वर द आंसर्स. सो यप, this is what you can do. You can follow us on Insta on BYJU'S Exam Prep Law. You can also like us on Facebook. You can join our channel on Telegram. You can also download our app. And the most important of all, you are liking the session no matter what. See, that is an imperative in Nivedita ma'am's class. You like the session, definitely don't leave without liking. And you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I shall see you again very, very soon. All the best for tomorrow's A-Let exam. Pay attention to legal. The questions are easy if you decide them to be easy. If you make them difficult in your head, they automatically become difficult. But there cannot be a question which you cannot solve if you give it a little try, right? So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.